Hello students, welcome to the second session of physics, and our topic for today is measuring density, and the chapter is for ICSE class 7. So now let us see our objectives. Our objectives are to study about mass and weight, to know the definition of density, to know what is relative density and how to find it, and variation in density and many formulas. Now let us see what is mass. Mass is the amount of matter contained in an object. So, as you know, each object will have some amount of matter. If we weigh that amount of matter in each object, we get to know about the mass of the body. Mass remains constant wherever we go. That is, if mass of a person is 50 kilograms, then if he goes to some place on Earth, or if he goes to Mars, or even to any other planet, his mass will not vary. It will be 50 kg only. Okay, so now let us see the SI unit of mass. SI unit of mass is kilogram, which is kg. There is one more CGS unit of mass, which is gram. Now let us see some other units of mass and some derivations. So 1 ton is equal to 1000 kg and 1 kg is equal to 1000 gram. So as you know, 1 ton is a very huge quantity and is used for measuring the goods and weight of animals like elephant and all. 1 kg is the common thing used while measuring common substances, while gram is used for smaller quantities. And mass is measured by beam balance and other instruments like weighing scales. Now let us see what is weight. As we know, there is a force acting towards every object that is known as gravity. So a gravitational force will be exerted by Earth on all objects around it. Okay, so this force will pull or attract objects towards the Earth. That is why when we throw a ball up in the sky, it will fall down because of gravity. Now weight is the gravitational force exerted by Earth on all objects. As you know, we can see here a person lifting a box, and when he leaves it, it will go back to the ground. That box has some gravity, the Earth exerts some gravitational force on the box, hence it falls down. Now let us see what is the SI unit of weight, which is Newton. We can also say that the heavier the object, greater is the gravitational pull. You must have tried lifting a heavy object like a box full of books or something. That would be very heavy. But if you try lifting your geometry box, that is very light because the gravitational pull varies in each of the substances. Now let us learn about density. First, for learning about density, first we should know about volume. Volume is the amount of space that an object occupies. So as you know, each substance will occupy an amount of space in the atmosphere or where it is kept. Hence, that space is known as volume. Now, density is the relationship between mass and volume of objects. This is very important. Keep this in mind. Now, let us see the definition of density. Density is defined as its mass per unit volume. Like if mass of one substance, if mass of one piece of iron is 39 gram and uh, and its volume is 5 centimeter cube. To find the density, we should write density is equal to mass by volume, which is equal to 39 by 5, which is equal to 7.8 gram per centimeter cube. Now let us see what is the SI unit of density. So SI unit of density is equal to SI unit of mass by SI unit of volume, which is equal to kg by meter cube. So this is how we can get to know that SI unit of density is kg per meter cube. Now we know how to find density of regular solids. But what about irregular solids like stone or any or like stone or any pebble like that. So volume is taken up to a certain level in this can called Eureka can. It has one opening here and water is to be filled up to the rim. Okay. So when we then tie a thread to the object and immerse it in the water. So, as we know, it will occupy some space, and that amount of space water would be displaced in this can. Like this, we can get to know about the volume. Here, in the we can keep another measuring cylinder and get to know about the volume. Here it is shown as 125 centimeter cube, and then we can find mass of the stone by a beam balance. And we know density is equal to mass by volume, which is equal to mass you will get divided by 125 centimeter cube. Another way is by just using measuring cylinder, we can tie a thread and keep it to a certain level, and when we dip the stone inside, the value will go up. The first value is to be kept as V1 and second value is to be kept as V2. Then we can write mass by V2 minus V1, which will get mass by volume, which is same. Now let us see what is relative density. Density is common, but relative density is a new concept, so little more attention is to be paid. The relative density is defined as the density of a substance with respect to the density of reference substance, which is generally taken as water. So this can be simply told as relative density is equal to density of substance by density of water. There is one more formula which we will be learning in the next slide. If the density of substance is greater than density of water, the ratio will be greater than 1, and if it is lesser, the ratio will be lesser than 1. So let us see relative density of few substances. So for ice, relative density is 0.917, for wood it is 0.8, for iron it is 7.8, and for mercury it is 13.58. So as you can see, there is no unit for relative density. The reason is that it is just a ratio between two substances. This fraction form we can write as a ratio, that is density of substance ratio symbol to density of water. Now the floating and sinking. See, relative density determines floating and sinking. If relative density of substance is lesser than 1, then object floats. If relative density is greater than 1, then object sinks. Here in this picture, you can see that the small ball sinks in the water. This shows that it is compact and it is not empty inside, and hence it sinks. Its density is more than water. But here, this big ball, it floats on water, showing that it is empty, and it floats on water due to less relative density. Now let us see about relative density of liquids. Relative density is measured by using density bottles. It is a small bottle having a thin glass wall and a stopper with a fine hole in it. The masses of empty bottle M1 and bottle filled with water M2 and bottle filled with unknown liquid of unknown density M3. These are just the markings, and they are supposed to be measured. So empty bottle's mass would be M1. If that is bottle is filled with water, then it would be M2. And if it's filled with any unknown liquid like benzene, alcohol like that, it is M3. So mass of liquid will be M3 minus M1, and mass of water will be M2 minus M1. Because here the bottle's mass is removed and only the mass of liquid and water is retained. Now let us find relative density of liquid. Relative density, as we know, it is the density of substance by density of water. So here the volumes are also same, since density bottle keeps the volume same, and as we know, density formula, mass of liquid by volume of liquid and mass of water by volume of liquid. This volume of liquid is important since both are same and there is no difference. And relative density is equal to mass of liquid by mass of water, which is equal to, these both get cancelled, M2 minus M1 by M3 minus M1. As you can see here, this is a density bottle, and here its measurement taken. See, this is a density bottle, and when it's placed on weighing scale, it shows them weight. Now let us see which all liquids work on principles of relative density. While making helium balloons, ships, aircrafts, as well as hydrometers, which are used in testing the purity of milk, all work on principle of relative density. Helium balloons are the use of relative density is to check the relative density of air and relative density of helium. Hence, it can be used for ships. The amount of luggage which can be put so that the ship doesn't sink, and for aircrafts also to prevent overload, and for hydrometers it is used in testing the purity of milk. Now let us see what is variation in density. Increase in temperature, decrease in density, and vice versa. As we know, when there is increase in temperature, the object will expand. So, when object will expand, the volume will increase, mass will be same. Let us take an example. If mass of the body is 1 kilogram and volume is 1 meter cube, on heating it will become 2 meter cube. So it was 1 by 1, which is equal to 1 meter cube. It be 1 kg per meter cube. Now it will become half kg per meter cube. So this will lead to decrease in density, and vice versa. In the same way, if temperature is decreased, the volume will decrease and density will increase. In simple words, density is not proportional to temperature. This is seen in liquids and gases, but can also be seen in some solids such as iron. Liquids and gases expand rapidly, but in solids such as iron, they expand little slowly. As we can see, density of air at 0 degrees 1.293 and at 30 degrees 1.164. This shows decrease in density. When a liquid is heated, the bottom particles gain kinetic energy and start moving, hence the density decreases. The upper level molecules then replace the lower level molecules. This phenomenon is called convection. As you can see, whenever we heat any object, the vapors go up. This shows that particles gain kinetic energy and boiling takes place, and this process is known as convection. It is seen in land breeze and sea breeze. Now let us see some numerical examples. An iron block of mass 39 gram occupies a volume of 5 centimeter cube. Find the density of iron. Answer: density is equal to mass by volume 39 by 5, which is equal to 7.8 gram per centimeter cube. To obtain this in kg per meter cube, we should multiply by 1000, which is equal to 7800 kg per meter cube. While converting kg per meter cube to gram per centimeter cube, we should divide by 1000. Calculate relative density of mercury. If mass of an empty relative density bottle is 100 gram, mass of bottle filled with water is 150 gram, and mass of bottle filled with mercury is 779 gram. Answer: relative density is equal to mass of liquid by mass of water, which is equal to 779 minus 100 by 150 minus 100, which is equal to 13.58. And the problem solving session will be held separately for this chapter. These two were just an example. So thank you for watching, and if you have any doubts, put it to craft.inc@gmail.com. Subscribe, like, share, and thank you.